Hello and welcome to Destination Timeshare. I'm Jeremy. Today we're going to be doing a little bit different video because we're actually here at the Westin Kierland Villas, and I've actually been wanting to put out this video for quite some time. But we've actually been in Hawaii, lots of resorts, lots of videos, lots of filming, and I've actually started putting out some of those videos already. If you want to see a link to the playlist of all of our Hawaii videos so far, I'll put a link to it right up here, so check that out. But today it's going to be a little bit different. I'm going to be reading a lot off of my cell phone here to essentially kind of give you all of the updates of what Interval International is doing here with changes to their membership program. Some changes have already happened. We expect some more to be coming along down the pike. So it's going to be a little bit different. I'm going to be looking at my phone quite a bit here. I'm going to try and do this with as few cuts as possible. Usually, kind of make a few mistakes. I'm actually able to kind of edit those out during the normal video process, but we're going to try and do this here with pretty much just me going off of my little notes here and telling you all about these changes. So back on June the 1st, Interval International sent an email out to their members, and it might actually be bad news. Some of it might be good news. We'll just kind of have to wait and see how it all plays out. But the email kind of said, it's that time of year, the time when you're likely either headed on vacation or planning your next one. As you begin planning your next vacation with Interval, we would like to share a few updates to our Interval membership program, including several new and exciting member benefits, as well as changes to some of our existing ones. So the first few here, really, I kind of consider them kind of meaningless. They're not benefits we use, and they're not really ones that I would ever recommend really utilizing all that much. The first one just happens to be introducing packages powered by Priceline Partner Solutions. This is just a big nothing burger, in my opinion. I mean, if you want to book something through Priceline, just go to Priceline. No sense going through Interval. This is where these companies, Interval, Marriott Vacation Club, Hilton Grand Vacations, they want to be your one-stop shop for all timeshare and all travel stuff. They want to be your online travel agent. Do your own shopping around. You're probably going to find better prices out there with other online agencies or even your own personal travel agent. So that one really kind of meaningless. The next one is tour credits with Collette. Up to $100 credit per person. This credit can be used towards travel costs such as pre or post tour accommodations, additional tours, or airport transfers. Again, same thing. This is something that Marriott Vacation Club offers with their Marriott Vacation Club Explorer collection. You can book tours and packages through Collette. I believe they offer some type of credit like this as well. So they're kind of just jumping on board with that there too. Then you have a cruise onboard credit as of July 1st, 2025. When you book a cruise with Interval, you will receive up to being the key word here, a $200 onboard credit for each cabin booked. Okay, it might be useful. Check it out. Compare their prices to all of the other websites out there where you can book travel. Even check with your own personal travel agent if you have one. There's lots of places out there to look at booking cruises, and you might be able to get just as good a deal. But we've actually found some savings with Interval cruises in years past, so definitely check that out. Another one here, guest certificate price increase. So the price to add a guest to, whether it's a getaway booking, an exchange reservation, whatever it might be through Interval International, that's going up $10 starting July the 1st. So really just a day or so away here. Then the next one here is changes to the number of free guest certificates for Platinum members. So Platinum members currently or used to be able to get 5 free guest certificates per year. And in fact, previously, years past, it was unlimited guest certificates for free. That was a big perk of being a Platinum member. They bumped it to 5, okay, not a big deal. But now it's going down to 3. And worst of all, if as of July 1st, you have more than 5 guest certificates still included or remaining in your account, they're going to change that to 3. That's a huge hit, in my opinion. I mean, you signed up for Platinum membership based on what they were selling at the time, and then all of a sudden they're just going to arbitrarily say, nope, we're taking some of those away, bumping it down to 3. That's a bad move by Interval, in my opinion. It just doesn't sit right with me. But what are you going to do? You can complain. Maybe you'll get a little bit of compensation from them. I doubt it, but hey, I don't know what to say. Now the next one, this one's actually a little bit more exciting. Refundable Getaways. Their email kind of says here, as we continue to enhance our getaway program, you'll start to see refundable getaway rates available for certain destinations to allow for flexibility when your travel plans unexpectedly change. So this is actually pretty good. They've also added a new checkbox. This is actually put in place as of just today when I'm recording this video. So you can filter the getaways based on refundable, non-refundable, or both. So you can look at what the rates are for a refundable getaway and what those destinations, what those resorts are, what those dates are. It seems to be kind of highly variable. I went out there and did some kind of just preliminary checking. There's some timeshare resorts with refundable rates, and then there's some other resorts that don't have refundable rates. You might also find these refundable rates for kind of more the hotel destinations that are the hotel resorts where they're kind of selling hotel packages or hotel rooms for a week. And that hotel would normally have a refundable rate if you booked it directly through the hotel or another online travel agent. But Interval has always had this cancellation policy of no cancellations. You don't go, you don't get your money back, you don't get anything unless you purchase travel insurance and it's a covered kind of reason you can't travel. The refundable rate surcharge, I kind of did some checking on this, looks to be about 10 to 11% more. So if you want to book a refundable rate, you're going to be paying about 10 to 11%, just in my kind of checking to book that refundable rate versus not. So definitely a premium here for refundable rates. And the ones I did check, you do have to cancel more than 15 days prior to check-in. So once you hit 15 days, it's no longer cancelable. It does provide you with a date that you have to cancel by, so that's kind of a good thing. It smells like somebody's smoking around here, and I don't think there's a smoking area right here. Anyway, that's kind of what this is. But anyway, let's see what else we got here. One question still remains, though, and I don't know for sure because I haven't booked one of these cancelable getaway reservations, is can you cancel online? That's a big drawback to Interval International. Can't cancel exchanges, getaways, anything like that online. It all had to be done via the phone. So not really sure if they've instituted online cancellations. It would be a huge, huge plus if they have. Next one here, went into place back actually when this email came out. A fee increase for Interval International trading programs, the internal trading programs. If you're trading Marriott to Marriott, Marriott to Westin, Marriott to Sheraton, Sheraton, Westin to Marriott, Hyatt to Welk to Hyatt, that kind of thing. They increased that fee, was $164 per exchange, went up to $199. So bit of a steep increase there, though I did notice over the years that fee difference was always about $40, $35 to $40. When the regular fee would go up, they would increase the Marriott to Marriott exchange fee. They haven't really done that in the last several years. I think maybe the last time they increased that fee was 2023. So it's been a couple years. So I think not really surprised here by that fee increase. So if you have an enrolled Marriott or an enrolled Vistana Week or VLI, then you're getting $0 exchange fees, and that isn't changing. Now the next one here is changes to Flexchange. Kind of explain what Flexchange is. Flexchange is a program, kind of more of a marketing term that Interval uses when you're searching for an exchange within 60 days of check-in. The trading power is slightly loosened up quite a bit in some cases, to where you may have a studio or you may have a low value deposit and you're searching for something maybe 45 days from now. You might be able to see a lot more inventory than if you were searching for something that is maybe 90 days, 180 days, 6 months, 9 months, or even a year out. They make stuff a lot more easily available to a lot more deposits during what they call Flexchange. Flexchange to help you plan last-minute vacations. Members with last-minute travel plans who want to take advantage of Flexchange will need to book their travel within 30 days of the desired check-in date in order to utilize this benefit. This is anticipated to commence in late summer. So the big question here is, we know this is going to be changing. I believe it's going to be changing on July 1st or somewhere around that time period. How will this impact retrades? We really don't know. We kind of think retrades inside of that 60 to 30 day period really won't be restricted in any way. The restriction isn't really changing. Since the restriction is essentially changing to 30 days, those time periods within 60 to 30, you're going to be able to search for something a lot further out, whereas normally you would be kind of stuck looking for something within 60 days of travel or 60 days of the date you're searching from. So that seems to be kind of a bit of a plus. You get a little bit more time to search for an unrestricted exchange, and that's kind of a good thing. How will it impact upgrade fees? I did look into this. The exchange terms and conditions, kind of their II buyer's guide, uses the term of Flexchange when they're talking about upgrades within the E Plus program. So, or within the upgrade program, I should say, actually, sorry. You don't currently pay for upgrades if you're trading within 60 days of travel. So this is actually kind of a bit of a drawback, because now you won't pay for upgrades if it's within 30 days of travel. So kind of losing kind of 30 days there of free upgrades. So that's a bit of a disappointment there. How will this impact E Plus? Probably not really at all, because it doesn't seem like their E Plus retrading and Flexchange kind of restriction is changing at all. That's going to still be within 59 or 60 days. So you'll still have, if you're within 60 days of travel and you want to retrade within a week that has E Plus on it, you will be able to still do that within 60 days of travel, and you'll have that 60 days or 59 days out from the actual check-in of the week you currently have confirmed. So that's kind of how E Plus looks like, and it doesn't look like that's going to actually change. That's a good thing. They're not messing with the E Plus program really at all. Now, something else we need to kind of consider here is a lot of people own what we call kind of cheap or low cost, low value weeks or units in the program. So these might be studio weeks. Maybe they're not really valuable deposits, or not valuable by most members. One that kind of comes to mind that a lot of people talk about is called Ocean Landing. I believe it's in Cocoa Beach. It's essentially mini studio units, really cheap maintenance fees, maybe only $400 a year at most. People deposit them, and within 60 days of travel, they were able to get some great exchanges. I mean, I've heard of people depositing those and exchanging into places like Marriott's Coalina, 2 bedrooms, 3 bedrooms, maybe Marriott's Maui Ocean Club, Hawaii weeks, great weeks in the Caribbean, Aruba Surf Club, Western Laguna Mar, fantastic destinations. With what is ultimately a great, cheap week, doesn't cost them a whole lot, and hey, kudos to them. They really worked the system, and it worked out for them. Will this impact them? It seems like it might, because now that Flexchange period is going from 59 days down to just 30 days. So they may not see those great deposits that pop up kind of in that 59 to 30 day window. Usually what they were kind of seeing was weeks that somebody would cancel. So maybe somebody had an exchange, they canceled their exchange, or maybe they retraded somewhere else. That week would then pop up for them to be able to see, and they would exchange into it. So there might be some impacts there for them, there might not. We'll kind of just have to wait and see how it plays out. But now the next one here, we have for any current unused deposits. So if you have a deposit and you haven't used it, but it was deposited inside Flexchange, inside of that 59 to 30 days, what we understand is that's actually going to become an unrestricted deposit after July the 1st or sometime shortly thereafter. So you should get an unrestricted deposit and be able to do searches for as far out as that deposit expiration is. So that's definitely kind of good news in those cases. Any new deposits after July 1st, deposit with a check-in date more than 30 days out will be unrestricted. It's good for deposits, but not so good for if you're searching for stuff in that Flexchange window. And then my thoughts on this overall, I mean, I don't know, this is kind of a tough one. I think the hit on upgrade fees is probably going to be a big one. We quite often would upgrade with 0 upgrade fees. We'd do a retrade into a larger unit inside of 59 days, and we would pay no upgrade fees into that larger unit. Now we might have to pay those. Maybe they're using this to kind of balance out trade power a little bit. Those people had those cheaper deposits, what they might consider low value deposits. A lot of people don't necessarily consider them low value deposits because they get a lot of value from them, but just something to consider there. Now, something else that they did change is the exchange cancellation policy. Because of this whole change with Flexchange, they had to change the cancellation policy, obviously. Now when you cancel 30 to 7 days prior to travel, the member may request substitute travel 30 days to 24 hours prior to travel. So essentially, with the change to Flexchange to 30 days instead of 59 days, if you're essentially canceling within that 30-day window, you can only trade for something new that's going to be less than 30 days from the current date. So there's something there. Obviously, that's kind of a big change. Used to be, obviously, like if you cancel within 59 days through 14 days prior to travel, that you could request substitute accommodations from 59 days to 24 hours prior to travel. Cancel 14 days through 7 days prior to travel, you could request 30 days through 24 hours prior to travel. So it's a little confusing here, but basically just going to have a simplified exchange cancellation process here. Essentially, if you're canceling 30 days to 7 days prior to travel, you have to then book something new within 30 days of travel. So essentially now you have more time to cancel. It's kind of the bottom line there. So that's kind of all of the changes here with Interval International. I'm kind of curious to know your thoughts on what you think of these changes. Did I explain them well enough? There's kind of a lot to ingest here with these changes, and we'll kind of have to wait and see how it plays out. I'm not really too big of a fan of change because I've worked the system. I've gotten great value from our exchanges, from our deposits with Interval International. And change just means having to learn something new and figure something new out in order to get the best advantage and the best value from what we own. So I really do hope you liked this video. If you did, please be sure to give it a thumbs up. It really does help with these videos. To see another video about Interval International, maybe it was a change that they made in the past, something along those lines, well, you can check out this link right here. So click on that coming up next. Thanks for watching. And remember, until next time, the best destination is always a timeshare.